Located at the very tip of East Africa, Ethiopia is a nation graced with remarkable weather and climate condition, endowed with abundant natural resources, a well-mannered, culturally disciplined, and friendly people with the zeal for more entrepreneurial skill, technological advancement, and innovation. An emerging economic power hub with massive physical and social infrastructural development. How is this developmental achievements and human and natural resources endowments are translated into investment opportunities, one may ask?
The various incentives accorded and abundant opportunities abound will in no doubt make Ethiopia one of the most desirable FDI destinations.
The government have been heavily investing on infrastructure. As you might be aware about the grand projects going on in the past and in the current growth and transformation plan, which is expected to end by 2015. Just to let you know, the total cost of the infrastructure amounts around $73 billion, which includes the road construction and rail construction projects going on in the capital, as well as connecting regions, and even the capital with the port of Djibouti, the Grand Renaissance Dam, which is the green energy, very important for the growth of manufacturing sectors. These projects by itself are attracting investors. When we talk of competitiveness, labor cost is one of the lowest in the world, though there are some countries who have lower rate, but with easily trainable, good character. Labor cost, power cost is the cheapest. Other input costs are also. It depends what kind of business they are engaged in.
Ethiopia today is the second most populous country in Africa, more than 80 million people, next to Nigeria. Ethiopia today is the 5th biggest economy in sub-Saharan Africa, an aggregate GDP on a purchasing power parity basis. And what we expect is over the next 15 years, the Ethiopian economy would go from about 90 billion last year to 472 billion by 2023 in the next 15 years. And it will become the 3rd biggest economy in Africa.
The unprecedented economic growth that the country has registered in recent times, and the investment possibilities created lured many investors and captivated the headlines of the mainstream media.
Now, Ethiopia's economic growth rate remains at a relatively high level.
Confident as you look at what can be classified, of course, as a frontier market, that it can remain stable going forward. There's still demand for investors to want to find that growth in the Horn of Africa.
Ethiopia has risen along with the general tide that has lifted so many of the African economies.
Ethiopia's international trade has grown rapidly and export growth picked up with the dependable political stability.
As some investors put it, they feel safe 24/7 in Addis, in Ethiopia, than anywhere else, in Africa, and even compared with some European countries. That's what they say, and I myself witness this as a citizen here. It's so safe, people are friendly, and there are so many job opportunities. Those who have already decided can do one or the other. The government have a commitment to make sure it is safe.
Ethiopia has indeed proved to be a getaway to the African continent as a whole, and the most favored investment destination in the whole world. Addis Ababa is already the main air hub for Africa and the home for the Ethiopian Airlines, carrying almost 2/3 of African flights and extending its cargo capacity and range. Ethiopia is centrally located in the global economy with non-stop transport distance to all major markets, being roughly equidistant between the US and Japan, China and Brazil, Europe and India, and Russia and South Africa. The government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia envisions making the nation the most favored investment destination in the whole world. The FDI flow now to Ethiopia is rapidly growing and is much more diversified.
In Ethiopia, the situation for much more investment inflow has been facilitated, added to the conducive policy framework charted.
We can tell that in the last decade especially has been increasing by far. Some international companies who have never, thought of Ethiopia as a destination for FDI have already chosen Ethiopia. Like H&M, the biggest retailer in the world, has opened an office in Addis and is buying, some of the textile products from textile companies, garment companies. They are ordering different kinds of fabrics. This shows that the trend is in the increase.
The African Development Bank, which have established such a strong relationship, in so far believe that Ethiopia's FDI is indeed showing an increase.
The relationship between the African Development Bank and Ethiopia goes back a long way, and we have seen a lot of improvement in the investment climate here, and I think the numbers, which have increased almost fivefold during the last 5 to 6 years, are evidence of the improvements that the country has made. We are seeing an inflow of foreign direct investment in almost every sector, and that's thanks to the improvement both in the macro stability. The government has undertaken a lot of positive reforms.
Doing business in Ethiopia have become much more lucrative.
There are several advantages. As I've just mentioned, there's been a lot of improvement in the investment climate. The government's focus on infrastructure, clearly it is one area that all private investors will be looking to see that there is efficiency and quality of infrastructure services. I think there is an increased focus in terms of human capital development. We all recognize across Africa that we need to develop more relevant skills if we're going to expand our industrial base. And this is something that is clear in the growth and transformation plan of Ethiopia. I think also we are seeing a lot of effort in terms of ensuring that the country is integrated with the region. We're seeing this in the energy sector, a lot of work's being done there, in the transport sector as well. And all these are contributing towards the attractiveness of the country.
Ethiopia in recent time has shown such remarkable economic growth, allowing foreigners to come and do business, owing to the created conducive investment climate. The World Bank sees Ethiopian investment climate to be much more fertile for international businesses to come in and profit. But there's a lot remaining to be done in the future for more FDI.
Ethiopia's, as you know, had a very strong economic growth record, but government and others have been very clear that while in the past government's been very much the leader of its economic growth and the driver of its economic growth, as you look forward, you're wanting to get private sector to play a bigger role in carrying it forward on a more sustainable basis. And one of the things we're doing is helping government to identify what it can do to build and strengthen the investment climate in Ethiopia so that the private sector can step up to the mark and take on the role driving the economy forward.
That is believed to greatly contribute to the industrialization scheme that the nation has embarked on. That would also help facilitate mobility in social status and living standards of the population at large. Ethiopia offers a much changed business landscape. To understand the implication in terms of business and investment opportunities, a closer look is necessary at sectoral level. The investment in Ethiopia's healthcare system demands a wide range of goods and services provided by the private sector, including laboratory services, ambulance services, training of healthcare personnel, and pharmaceutical manufacturing.
The pharmaceutical industry is now booming as never before, cognizant of the existing potential market both for national and international. In this regard, there is a need for huge investments. And now I'm at one of the pharmaceutical industries just at the outskirts of the capital, Addis Ababa. If you'll follow me, we'll go and check it out.
Julfar Pharmaceutical is established in partnership among Ethiopian and UAE investors. Julfar Pharmaceutical's involvement in Ethiopia dates back a long way.
We are not new in Ethiopia. We are from the very long time, maybe 10 years, our product are here. Our partner with Medtech is our partner, and they are selling our product from the very long time. And we are selling here approximately $12 million. In Africa, this is the first joint venture. In this country, what we feel, there is a shortage of medicine. So here, and there is no big, like a up-to-date modern company with the this automation and with the new technology. So we thought we will start here. We are working for not for charity, for the profit. So feasibility we made, and not today, not this month, not this year, but future is very bright, profit-wise also.
We are now in the manufacturing area. Such pharmaceutical ventures play a huge role in satisfying the need of medicine and the medical equipment, which helps the nation to earn the needed foreign currencies.
In the neighboring countries like Sudan, Kenya, Tanzania, already we have the products. We are selling our products. So it is very easy when we will expand ourselves here, and our production is more than the requirement of Ethiopia. Then we start this to export. We already requested to the government, and government is very sympathetic. What we have seen here also, that labor is cheap and they are available, and people, they want to work.
Ethiopia is among few nations in the whole world that are engaged in massive infrastructural and construction activities. That required, of course, the concerted engagement by the public government and the private sector. Well, in any infrastructural and construction effort, the basic requirement of perhaps the most vital ingredient in cement. The very few cement factories that were there just a few years back were literally unable to suffice the required amount of cement needed for the rapid infrastructural activities and construction endeavors in the nation. Hence, the engagement of the government and the private sector in cement manufacturing was very much agitated. In this regard, remarkable progress is being made to to look at the status of FDI inflow and the possibilities thereof, we made our way to the Adaberka district in the Oromia region.
We're some 80 kilometers away from Addis Ababa, in a town called Muger, known for its rich limestone deposit, making it suitable for establishing cement industries. Here are various cement factories, including a very old cement factory called Muger. But we make our stay at Dangote Cement Factory, owned by a Nigerian billionaire.
The Nigerian-based Dangote Cement is a leading Nigerian cement producer with 3 plants in Nigeria and planning to expand to 13 other African countries.
The construction industry is growing at the fastest rate. Due to that, the group has shown an interest to invest in the country. You know, investment and capital is different. Our startup capital is about 92 million Ethiopia birr. But the investment will be 10 or 12 times of that, because we are not only investing in the plant, as well as we are also importing heavy machineries for the mining equipment, so that it's a very huge investment. It will be over $550 million US.
Dangote investment is symbolic in acknowledging the importance of investment by Africans in Africa.
Our president has an aim. That aim is we Africans have ability as well as the financial capability to invest in Africa and to grow the economy of Africa. So by doing this, an African investing in Africa means it's a very good lesson for other Africans, rather than investing in other outside Africa, to invest their really not only their finances as well as their knowledge, experience in Africa, so that Africa will alleviate the poverty as well as bringing its really living condition to the same level like in Europe and also in America.
The company provides some 2,000 employment opportunities.
One of the reasons our President Chief Executive is trying and working very hard to really create a work opportunity for the new graduates who are graduated from the universities and colleges. Directly or indirectly, we'll be having about 5,000 people will be a beneficiary. But with direct employment, it will be up to 2,000. Our first approach was to meet the demand of the national requirement. But we do have also a plan to bring the cement to the neighboring countries, such as to Kenya and as well as to South Sudan. If the situation permits also, whenever the infrastructure is really upgrading, like the railway line, what about to Djibouti?
The company is also exploring many other investment opportunities here in Ethiopia.
We are now focusing in other investment. We have a plan now to export potash from the northern part of Ethiopia, Dalol, to Nigeria.
Dukem town is a small town some 40 kilometers out of Addis. The traffic to Dukem, previously so congested, is now seemingly a free ride thanks to the newly built highway. We will make a brief stay at this small town in the Oromia region. The specific stopover for us here is the Eastern Industrial Zone. The complex left and right are ready and to cater other manufacturing industries. The Hujan Shoe Factory, established by the Chinese billionaire, also known as the King of Shoe here, graced the center of the industrial zone. The 24/7 buzzing Hujiang shoe factory has become a place of immense opportunity for young employees there. They have been able to acquire much skill here and help themselves as well as the nation. While on our visit to this giant shoe factory, we met the owner, who incidentally happened to be here to finalize the agreement for an expansion of the shoe manufacturing plant. During our encounter, the owner told us that he opted for this investment here in Ethiopia as per the invitation extended to him by the late Prime Minister Meles Zenawi.
While the late Prime Minister Meles, on his visit to China, attended the export competition event held in China at the moment, there I was introduced to him, in which time the Premier invited me to invest in shoe manufacturing industry here in Ethiopia. There were actually two reasons which greatly attracted me to invest here. The first is the various incentives and additional encouragements forwarded by the government. And secondly, the abundant and skilled manpower that the country possesses. The workers here are very professional and cherish their jobs. I am very thankful to the people and government of Ethiopia for the support we were accorded with, and most importantly for the availing stable political system and the peace that reigns, which helps doing business in Ethiopia more worthwhile. In my view, that by itself attracts much more investment. The company is thinking of expanding its business here in the future, and I believe it increases our export capability in the years ahead.
The Hujiang Shoe Factory's experience in discharging its corporate responsibility through helping employees to be ethically disciplined and mentally awakened so as to be more productive is really exemplary. The progressive modernization attained nationwide is very much noticeable. Here now we see the factory owner discussing his venture with his allies in China from Addis Ababa via video conference. Traveling across the Ethiopian Rift Valley, we see plastic-covered shades, greenhouses. This showcase the extent of the FDI inflow in the floriculture sector.
Some 100 kilometers and more from Addis Ababa, we find ecologically and environmentally friendly area suitable for horticultural and floral activities. And here grows all kinds of fruits such as strawberries, so tasty.
We find the Florence's floriculture, one of the pioneers in the sector. During our stay here, we will try and grasp the truth about the sector.
So we cannot contaminate our... we've got about 600 different crops here, so it's a diversity of things. So we have quite well-trained people to do the harvesting. I can show you a little bit what type of cuttings we have.
The floriculture investment is gaining a huge foreign investment as well as foreign currencies for the nation. We are here at Floris' greenhouse, who's been engaged in this investment for about 8 years.
Florensis is an international company which produces annual and biannual young seedlings, and for that they use seed and cuttings, and part of the cuttings are being produced here in Ethiopia. Ethiopia gives interesting opportunities. The national resources are good. The stable climate and other stable factors make it worthwhile investing here. The factors are good labor against a compatible price compared to other countries. Starting up incentives are interesting. The export at the moment done by Ethiopian Airlines, it's improved a lot. It makes it also interesting for us in our business to export from here. We have started here very small 8 years ago, mainly on testing, basis of testing. After 1-2 years we have started expanding the farm phase by phase. We have now fully occupied the land and are looking for extra land to invest. And also our export has grown every year. We are at the moment on about 2.5 to 3 million euros on yearly basis of foreign currency entering the country. Most of this foreign currency is also spent here on national resources, even on human labor, on local materials. We supply to routing stations and growers all over Europe. Our distribution country is Holland. From there it's distributed all over Europe to growers. The growers make a finishing products which they sell again to the wholesale market. We have 500 permanent workers, and in a high season, which is from December up till March, we employ another 250, so then at that time we have 750 workers. In the horticulture sector it's growing well. I mean, there's more than 100,000 people employed in the horticultural sector. The knowledge which is bringing it into the country is very helpful for the local farmers and the local products.
The floriculture sector is also booming in other parts of the nation.
At the moment, the investors looking at Ethiopia in the horticultural sector, that means also not only flowers but also fruits and vegetables, are very high, very interested, and I'm expecting a lot of new companies to enter in Ethiopia in the coming years.
The Oromia Steel Pipes is set up in a bid to save the foreign currency that would otherwise be spent on importing water pipes and other materials required for ongoing water projects in the nation. Indeed, that makes this huge joint venture investment peculiarly unique.
Oromia Steel Pipe mill is established among 3 partners. The 2 are 2 developmental enterprises of the Oromia regional government, and the one is a foreign partner from Egypt, it's Golden Trading Capital. The joint venture is established among these partners, which incorporated the foreign partner just only to bring the technology which is new for the country. So the total investment cost of this factory is about 400 million Ethiopian birr, which is about $20 million. The factory was started about 4 years ago, And now, as you see, it reached this stage. Oromia regional government is highly interested to fulfill the demand of its rural community, urban, and others also. You know that the water coverage of the region and as well as in the country is very scarce and low. In order to fulfill the water coverage of the region as well as the country, the region decided to establish this steel pipe, which took a long process to import from outside, especially for the water supply, for irrigation, for casings, which is for borehole casing. So in order to avoid especially the transportation cost, which took a very huge amount of foreign currency, the investment condition of the country is very favorable. We got this land, it is about 10 hectares. We got free of charge from the regional government, and the government also followed up for the investment we are running now on the zone, and what problem we have, and what kind of help we need. The joint venture plays two important roles to my view. One is to bring the technology. The second is to share the cost.
There is a huge surge of FDI in the manufacturing sectors. The textile sector in particular has seen more investment in recent times. More than 50% of international investments coming from Turkey.
At Alangena, a small town in the Oromia region, we find Ayka Adis, the textile manufacturing venture by Turkish investors.
Till now, the investment is more than 250 million US dollars. But still, for the coming 3 years, we have 3 more projects to expand the investments. It's still going on. Actually, we have more than 7,000 people, but less than 2 years, we'll be hiring more than 10,000 more. So our target is to come to 18,000 employment in all Ayka investments.
The textile sector is gaining the country a huge sum of hard currency in recent years that is attracting additional investment.
We have 4 production units in Ayka. This is the latest one. We are making kids' leggings here. These are all exported to Germany. We are making elastan fabrics and prints and make the garments here in our facility. Daily we have 40 tons of fabric capacity and more than 80,000 units of productions we are performing.
The Ayka Addis, according to the manager, gives due emphasis to human capital investment.
We love to invest on people rather than the machinery. Now we are very happy that the first investment decision was correct, and we have a full support from the government. So we are very satisfied with the results we are getting right now. We are bringing the highest technology here. For knitting, spinning, dyeing, and this garment machineries, all are latest technology, branded machinery. So our expansion is provided with the government's positive approach to us. Whatever we need, we have full support from the government. So we are very happy and comfortable to make additional investments here. When we take step here in 2006, everybody was telling us that it was very risky decision we get. Now everybody is, confirming that it was very correct. Ethiopia was the correct address to invest. And now they are coming and asking advice from our experience how to make their investments in Ethiopia. Planning to make $100 million export for next year. This is our target.
The ongoing expansion by ICA Addis and other textile investment by foreign investors have really attracted the interest of others.
The Ethiopia government put a policy to support all export-based investments. So we are provided with full governmental loans, tax exemption, and all other international incentives Ethiopian government are providing to us. More than this, we have special care for any other request. We have quick reaction and solution from the government. It is already coming. For all international brands, Ethiopia is accepted to be the future. That is the key reason attracting the people here. When you look all around, Ethiopia is the best for sustainability and security. This is attracting the people here. So rather than the Far East, people are now coming to Ethiopia. In coming 2-3 years, more investments will be coming and the capacity will be much more than rather than today.
The prospect of FDI inflow to Ethiopia is indeed bright. The government is engaged to foster the inflow in encouraging foreign investors to engage in prioritized areas with cumulative advantages and turnover.
There are also areas that we are highly promoting, from agriculture, commercial farm, like cotton, sugarcane, and the like. And from horticulture, flower farm, vegetables, fruits, and the like, up to processing level. And from industry, textile, garment, leather, up to finished level, tannery, up to finished level, or footwear industry, gloves, or any other leather articles, or leather garment, up to export. In the agro-processing, there are, so many opportunities.
Ethiopia is on the right track now towards realizing its renaissance. In this regard, the contribution of the ongoing and prospective investment by foreign investors could not be seen lightly. What is being witnessed so far, though encouraging, there is still a lot remains to be done.
This is the direction Ethiopia is going and needs to continue to go in more strongly, and they've asked us for advice in that area as well. And the growth you've had to date has been on the basis of very strong infrastructure investment, which is very important because this lays a good foundation for an economy going forward. But going forward, there needs to be more of a space for private sector to ensure that it has the transparent and reliable investment climate that it can build on. So yes, I think you have had some good foreign investment flows, but you really want that to grow, and you want your domestic investment levels to grow as well, because an economy needs both. You need to walk on 2 feet. You need your domestic investors to invest, and you need your foreign investors to come. And then you need to make sure that you have the linkage between your domestic and foreign so that each can contribute its strength and build on the other.
I think there are a number of generic issues that we're having to deal with in Africa to try and take our investment climate to the next level. I think it's fair to say that across Africa, we still have to make sure that we have improved and efficient logistics, and this is something that's important for Ethiopia, which is a landlocked country. We do also need to pay particular attention to the availability of capital for investment, and this is not only an issue that affects foreign direct investment, it is also important for local investment. We need to make sure that we can manage our natural resources properly.
Well, in wrapping up, Ethiopia still calls for much more foreign direct investment.
Ethiopia is a wonderful country that makes your investment, worth a while, because there are so many competitive advantages in this country.